Is Badgermole Cub broken enough to make doubling season good in Standard? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and as far as I'm concerned, Badgermole Cub is the most busted card from Avatar. This card is absolutely ridiculous. So today we're going to find out if the little 2-drop is so busted, it can actually make a doubling season Super Friends deck work in our standard format. So let's talk about our Golgari doubling season deck, what it's trying to do, why we're playing it, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So our deck today starts off with some fast mana, and the fastest mana we have in Standard is Badgermole Cub. In this card, it is ridiculous. It's a 2-mana 2/2. When it enters, you get to Earthbend 1. And then it says when you tap a creature for mana, any creature for mana, including the Earthbended land, you make an extra green mana. So Badgermole Cub, I don't even know how to describe this card. It's like a 2-mana mana dork that adds 2 bodies and 3 power to the battlefield. But it's a super mana dork that also makes our Llanowar Elves and our Gene Pollinator and the lands that we Earthbend off Earthbender Ascension tap for more mana as well. So once I figured out how busted Badgermole Cub, the first thing I did is I started looking through 5 and 6 drops in Standard, because the power of Badgermole Cub is if we can go turn 1 mana dork, turn 2 Badgermole Cub, we should untap the next turn with at least 5, maybe 6 mana. So I started browsing through these expensive 5 and 6 drops, trying to figure out what the sweetest thing we could do with all this mana was, and I landed on Doubling Season. So Doubling Season, you probably know this card from Commander. It's a 5-mana enchantment. This says, if you would create a token, you create twice as many instead. If you would put counters on something, you put twice as many on it instead. So why are we ramping into Doubling Season? And it's partly because it is cute with like Badgermole Cub and Earthbending. We get double the counters on our Earthbending lands, which is pretty sweet. But that's not the real plan for Doubling Season. The real plan for Doubling Season is to use it with 2 reprinted in Foundations planeswalkers, Vivian Reed and Liliana Dreadhorde General. So if we have a Doubling Season out, we can ultimate either of these planeswalkers the turn they enter the battlefield, which hopefully just wins us the game. So Vivian Reed, it's a 5-mana 5 loyalty planeswalker. It's +1, digs 4 cards deep to snag a creature or land from the top of our deck. -3, we can blow up an artifact enchantment creature with flying, which is actually super relevant in this format. There's a lot of good artifacts and enchantments, quantum riddlers all over the place. So it's actually a fine removal spell. And then the ultimate, which we can do the turn that we play it if we have Doubling Season, is we get an emblem with creatures we control. Get +2/+2, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. So essentially, all of our random Mana Dorks and Badgermole Cubs and Earthbended lands become these unbeatable game-ending threats. But the real payoff is Liliana Dreadhorde General, which has one of the most devastating ultimates ever printed on a planeswalker. -9, each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacks the rest. And notice, that ability does not exclude land. So if we can, maybe turn 3 Doubling Season, turn 4 Liliana, we can make our opponent sack all except for 1 land, all except for 1 creature, artifact, enchantment, whatever. Essentially, it should just win us the game on the spot. It's really hard to come back in a game of Standard when we're going to have 6 mana, 8 mana, 10 mana, and our opponent's going to be down to a single land on the battlefield. Liliana is also just absurd with Doubling Season. We can also +1 to make 2 zombie tokens if we have Doubling Season, 1 if we don't. When one of our creatures die, we get to draw a card, and we can -4 to make each player sack 2 creatures. So that's the goal of the deck. Our dream draw with this deck: turn 1 Mana Dork, turn 2 Badgermole Cub, turn 3 Doubling Season, turn 4 Liliana Dreadhorde General, game over on turn 4. Our mana base pretty straightforward, other than Bossing Say, which is really good with Doubling Season. Normally Earthbends 2, but if we have Doubling Season, it Earthbends 4, and 3 mana tap to make a 4/4 land is actually a pretty powerful backup plan for closing out the game. In the sideboard, we get Duress and Holy Annex for control, a bunch of removal for creature decks, Heritage Reclamation, Cease Desist to deal with artifacts and enchantments, Ghost Vacuum, and my secret tech card Foggy Swamp Visions to deal with graveyards. Foggy Swamp Visions, if you run into the Carvalero Superior Spider-Man Living End style deck, is one of the most hilarious answers, because you can just let your opponent mill their stuff, and then you do their combo with Foggy Swamp Visions before they do their combo. And that is Golgari Doubling Season, and that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see if Badgermole Cub really is so busted it can actually make Doubling Season in 6 mana planeswalkers good in Standard. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. It is time to find out if Badgermole Cub is broken enough to make Doubling Season and Liliana Dreadhorde General work in Standard. And this hand, super slow. We're gonna mulligan. No 1-drops, no Badgermoles. This hand's not great, but it's better than the first one. At least we have a Gene Pollinator that we can get down early. Opponent leads on a Swamp, eh? And another Swamp. Are they mono black? Maze Mind. So what, mono black control? Are we getting mono black controlled in standard in 2025? Well, there's a Lily. I mean, if we can just hit our lands, draw a Doubling Season, play Liliana. I mean, Liliana with Doubling Season is pretty awesome. The ultimate is not bad. Not bad at all. Making our opponent sack down to one of everything, opponent, including lands, most importantly. Terminus is returned. And the Iron's so much ramp. Somehow we are a Badgermole Cub deck, and we are getting out-ramped by Mono Black. That probably should not be happening. Well, let's Earthbender Ascension. Try to catch up on our ramping here. What's our opponent? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana next turn? Oh. They got to be an Ugin deck, right? Like, all these artifacts, they make way more sense if they're playing Ugin. Opponent's going to scry. Well, we will Earthbend on a forest and grab us a Schwam. And I guess hit you for 2 because we're not using these Gene Pollinators. What do we got, Lupo? What do we got? So we'd like to draw Doubling Season. I mean, Doubling Season's a dream. We can actually Doubling Season next turn, and then if nothing goes wrong, Liliana the following turn. Oh, Cruel Claws Heist. Well, now we kind of need to draw an untap land, because we only have 5 mana technically. Oh, thank you. Thank you, opponent. It is, I don't know what. Why is there not a thank you emote? When my opponent says nice deck, how am I supposed to respond to that in emote form? I actually do not know the answer. My cabbages? Release the rhinos? Yeah, we need just a thank you. Why is there not just a thank you? Well, opponent takes the Vivian. Oh, we draw a land, but it's a little tepid. I mean, the Surveil lands are very good. We're actually going to keep the forest because even if we get disrupted, that means we get to play a Lily next turn. The Surveil lands are good with Earthbending, since when they die, they come back and we get to Surveil again. Not the best timing for them, though, because we would have rather been playing a Liliana this turn. Is it big scary stuff time? If we have an Ugin here, we definitely are going to regret leaving this forest on the top of our deck. Ooh, Ugin. Yeah, with the Iron Crags and the Maze Mind's Tome, it seemed kind of likely that they were an Ugin deck. We can play the Lily, but it doesn't really do anything. And then every colorless thing is going to snipe the Lily. Well, let's play the Lily. Actually, we should play the land first. Play the land. Trigger Earthbender Ascension for no value. Play the Liliana Dreadhorde General. Still a good card, not nearly as exciting. Without a Doubling Season, though. Well, we'll make a zombie, and we gotta just hope our opponent has no colorless stuff. Once they start casting colorless stuff, hit the Ugin down to 8, and start exiling our board, we're probably dead. I'm not sure we can actually realistically beat this Ugin. Opponent, Maze Mind's Tome to exile our Lily, and good enough, opponent, good enough, good enough. Ugin. You know they're going to have a good ultimate, too, with all that colorless stuff. Well, we can bring in Duresses. I don't know, do we actually want to fight the artifacts? Like, are we going to Heritage Reclamation to try to kill Mana Rocks? It doesn't seem great. I think we trim maybe an Earthbender Ascension. Vivian is nice because that can blow up the artifacts, and we don't have to bring in a narrow sideboard card. Maybe we trim, like, an Esper Origins and I could see the Unholy Annexes being worth it. Just have some card draw in the early game. Maybe we trim Doubling Season a bit. Maybe 1 Doubling Season, 1 Lily, and what's our last cut? Yeah, let's go 2 Doubling Seasons. Let's run it like that. Ugin seems pretty good against Doubling Season, being able to blow it up, unfortunately. All right, on to game number 2. Hopefully we get off to a bit faster. Okay, this is a much faster start. This is kind of what, we don't have a Badgermole Cub, which is the card that makes things broken, but Llanowar into Unholy Annex, not bad, not bad, we can deal with that. I'll play a forest, get down the Llanowar Elves, and pass the turn. Opponent swamp, and passes. Well, let's play an untap land, and get down the Unholy Annex, and ship the turn. We get to draw, ooh, there's, okay, things are about to get real. Well, now we drew the brokenness, and now things are going to start happening, and a duress. So we can duress into Sad Badgermole Cub. I guess we Badgermole Cub, Earthbend the Multiversal Passage, so we have black mana. I think this makes the most sense. And then we can tap that for black-green, because Badgermole Cub is obscene. and duress you. Oh, God. Oh, my, the hand. 3 Wraths, 2 Ugins, a Solemn, and a land. Well, I guess we take a Deadly Cover-Up and hope our opponent does not get to 5 mana. Well, let's run out the... Ooh, there's Lily. There's Lily. Let's draw the Lily. Man, or we find a Doubling Season. If we find a Doubling Season, we can probably end our opponent's hopes and dreams. Iron Crag, pretty big draw for our opponent. Oh my God, that's a Doubling Season. Oh, come on, no Wrath this turn. No Wrath yet. No Wrath yet. Get down the Doubling Season. Get down the Restless Cottage. Get in and hit ya. Oh, come on. Come on, not a land, not a land. If they just have to play Solemn here... If they just have to play Solemn here... Ooh, do they Wrath or do they Solemn? They're gonna Wrath, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, Blasphemous Edict. Okay, so we get back the land. We do get back the land. Oh, we were so close to getting them. I mean, we still probably can get them before the Ugin comes. Well, let's play the mightiest Vivian of all time. Vivian gonna have infinite loyalty. We could ultimate. Instead, we're gonna dig for a land for Lily. Okay, there's a swamp. All right, next turn. Next turn, we get to do the thing, hopefully. And we get another land off the Unholy Annex. So we are down to 8. I think we can close out the game fast enough. It doesn't matter. Opponent, Solemn Simulacrum. Usually people just scoop when you Lily on ultimate. Normally that's how it goes. Well, play a swamp and Liliana Dreadhorde General. Double the loyalty with Doubling Season. -9. You must sack down to 1 of every... Okay, I guess you don't have to. The other option is to scoop, and that's more like what you want to do. That's more like what we want to do. And, I mean, I think we just run it back. Do that again. Sweet. All right, on to game number 3. We're going to be on the draw. Badgermole Cub's so obscene. The card it's obscene. Okay, so no 1-drop, but we have a Badgermole. I mean, we are against not a super fast deck, so I think keeping a hand with no 1-drop's probably fine. Get down the Verge, opponent, land, and Maze Mindstone. I'm gonna get the card draw going, or the scrying going, perhaps. Opponent scries to the top. Oh, there's Doubling Season. Well, Badgermole Cub. Let's Earthbend that forest and pass the turn. Do you have an answer, opponent? If they don't have an answer, we have what? Well, not enough mana to fully... Cruel Claw's Heist. Going to take the Doubling Season. Well, I guess after last game, our opponents, they got the fear. They got the fear of the Doubling Season. Well, that's fine. We can, I guess just... Oh, we should have... All right, I should have probably played this first. I don't usually think of getting counters on Earthbend Ascension as being important to what we're trying to do, but you might as well get the free value. So, Earthbender Ascension, get a land, Earthbend a land, and I think we just play the Llanowar. Hit you with the Badgermole. We do gotta be aware that our opponent does have Wraths for Days at 5 mana. We saw that last game, that they have a lot of Wraths. Opponent, untaps, draws. And, all right, there's a land. And Demo Field. Oh, this. Wow, thank you, opponent. Demo Field, not a great answer to Earthbend lands. Because now we get a land and we get back to Earthbend land. So our opponent kind of just ramped us and took away a 2/2. I mean, I guess. So it's not really ramping us immediately because Badgermole Cub would make that land tap for 2 mana. So I guess it's mana neutral. No, oh my God, that's Lily. Yeah, I mean, kind of a punt, but I think it kind of works out the same, but we'll still give him a that's rough, buddy. Let's Esper Origins. See if we can find the Doubling Season. The thing is, to do the trick with Lily, we need the Doubling Season before we play the Lily. If we play it after, it doesn't do the thing. Earthbender Ascension, grow the Badgermole Cub, and I think we just play Vivian. We could blow up the Maze Mindstone. I think we're just gonna go digging, though. Vivian. See if we can find, I guess, more Badgermoles. Vivian only gets creatures or land, so it can't get Doubling Season. I guess Bossing Say's pretty good. A way we can Earthbend more lands to go with our Badgermole. Seems reasonable. Found it. Gonna draw with the Maze Mindstone. I do like Maze Mindstone. Maze Mindstone's still a pretty good card. If you're looking for a way to generate card advantage, it's cheap, comes down early, doesn't look threatening enough that you really have to worry about your opponents trying to deal. Like, we could blow it up, but we don't really want to spend our Vivian activation on a Maze Mindstone. I think that's part of what makes it good. So bad it's good. The Richard Commander technique. All right, opponent. What are we doing, opponent? What are we doing? Bitter Triumph. Well, one of the reasons I think this deck could kind of work is, yeah, I mean, we could again play Lily, but I really want to find the doubling season. So I think we just Esper Origins, see if we can surveil into it. Bitter Triumph. Yeah, we're just going to mill them both. We're just all in on finding doubling season. The Bitter Triumph would be an answer to an Ugin, but our answer to Ugin is ultimating Liliana before they play it. Plus, we have the Maelstrom Pulse. All right, that's a land. Well, we might as well play the Bossing Say. And, I mean, maybe we just win with Earthbender Ascension. Maybe we're the janky beatdown deck. All right, I mean, grow the Badgermole Cub and hit you for 4, 5, 6. Actually, we'll leave back. Let's leave back the Llanowar, and we can opponents. Gonna draw with a Maze Mind Stem. Opponents. The Rise of Sozin. I'm gonna blow up our board. All right. I'm curious how good these sagas are. They're all expensive, but they seem relatively powerful. Well, there's a Vivian. That can get rid of the saga. We don't want it to flip. The backside is actually pretty good. Get rid of the Rise of Sozin.
To nature, I'll speak.
And
we adapt.
Yeah, play swap and pass the turn. Really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't play Liliana and doubling season in the same turn yet. Found another Maze Mind Stem. I mean, this is going fine until our opponent. If they play the doubling season, we probably have to answer it because they could do the same trick with Ugin. They can do the same trick with Ugin and just ultimate right away, which seems pretty bad for us. Well, there's a Badgermole Cub. Let's take up the Vivian. Get,
I never run out of
I guess, Llanowar. All right, so now we can, let's see, play a Badgermole Cub, turn on a land. So Earthbend a Swamp, and then do we just do it? Do we just give up? Are our dreams over? Are we just gonna make bodies with Liliana? We can just play Liliana and make 2/2s, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. Liliana with no doubling season. I mean, it's still a good planeswalker. Like, our opponent still needs to answer it. And now that we know that they're playing Rise of Sozin, so they're just playing every wrath imaginable, planeswalkers seem pretty good. One of the reasons I think this deck could work, I feel like I started to say this earlier and then stopped for some reason, but one of the reasons I think this deck could work is there's really not that much planeswalker removal in Standard. A lot of the popular removal spells don't hit planeswalkers. They happen to be creature only, which I guess is a weird quirk of Universes Beyond being in Standard, because Universes Beyond sets don't get planeswalkers. So you don't really need to have removal for planeswalkers in Universes Beyond sets. So that means half of sets don't need planeswalk. That was the worst timing for that speech. Opponent, Bitter Triumph, planeswalker removal on Liliana. But really, I promise, a lot of decks don't actually have it. A lot of decks don't actually have it. This one might, but yeah, compared to some formats where, like, I mean, I remember how Deadly Cover Up too. Opponent really doesn't want to die for some reason. Opponent in their living. Opponent in their desire to live. I remember, but like Theros Standard, where Hero's Downfall was like the #1 removal spell in the format. Some formats just all the popular removal, or most of it, happens to deal with planeswalkers. This format's just the opposite, where most of the things people play as removal. I guess bounce can bounce planeswalkers, but even that's not permanent. But most of the popular removal spells just don't hit them. All right, we get back a land. We untap. Well, I guess we Vivian. I think we really are gonna try to win with Bossing Say here. I guess we take a Gene Polluter and Duracia. Opponent's finally starting to run out of cards, so they still have 2 Maze Mind Stone. Another Deadly Cover Up. All right, get rid of the Deadly Cover Up. I wonder if our opponent's like a exile all your stuff deck. Maybe that's the goal. Well, Bossing Say. Earthbend you down to 4. I mean, we might actually. Well, they're gonna. Oh, it's gonna take a minute, isn't it? Because they're gonna gain 4 off a Maze Mind Stone, so they're not as close to being dead as they look. Found it. Maze Mind Stone. And untaps, draws a card, and Solemn Simulacrum. Gonna keep the ramp going. Opponent's deck looks cute. Mono Black Control is a cool archetype. Opponent passes. Earthbenders. Maybe this really is the Earthbender Ascension game. Well, take up Vivian. Do some digging. Well, Restless Cottage, that's not bad. So how do we want to do this? We can Bossing Say, turn on a Verge. We can play the land, pump the Gene Polluter, play the Earthbender Ascension, get another land, pump the, I guess the Verge, grab a Force. It doesn't really matter which one we pump. I mean, is that lethal? We do have Trample. If our opponent doesn't have removal, but they can go up to, they can draw, they go up to 8, they block here, they take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe we can hit them to 1. And there's the Maze Mindstone life gain. Sure. And opponent, Maze Mindstone, draw a card. Opponent goes to 8. Down to 1. Draws with Solemn. I mean, they could draw another Wrath. I don't know if we're that scared of Ugin anymore. They never got the... If they had the Doubling Season, I'd be very scared. But without the Doubling Season, they don't have enough mana to play Doubling Season and Uga. That's Ugin in the same turn. That's so much. I mean, that's the same problem we have, right? Like, 5 for Doubling Season and 6 for Planeswalker is just a lot of mana. Although, Badgermole Cub in Mana Dorks does help. They need another Wrath, but even if they Wrath, they die, right? Because we have a creature land, we have the Bossing Say. This has been, like, oddly a testament to the power of... of Earthbender Ascension in Bossing Say. Like, this is not what the deck's trying to do. Opponent has an Ugin. Unfortunately for our opponent, lands are not colored. So our opponent cannot actually exile the lands. They can exile, like, the Gene Pollinator, but... Or the Vivian. I guess a Earthbender Ascension, but they can't hit the biggest problems. And I don't see how they get out of this. Even gaining life, they gain life up to 5. So they need to gain life and have like 1 oh, right, they get the Ugin life. So they gain life up to 8? I don't think they can get out of this. Like, their colorless spells don't matter because they can't exile the lands. We have a creature land. We got the Bossing Say. Yeah, Bossing Say's been great this game. Like, straight up great. All right, opponent, what do you got? Iron Crag gets to exile something. What are we going to exile? You can't hit the lands. Opponent looking at the Earthbender. Wow, Earthbender Ascension. Okay, gets rid of the Earthbender Ascension. And opponent passes, and I think that does it. Restless Cottage, fire it up. I mean, I guess we Vivian. They're not scooping. I don't know why they're... Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we might as well. I don't think we need to. They still have 2 mana, so they could have a removal spell.
The creatures of this world in steel and stone.
But they can't use a removal spell and also use the maze. Well, he can scry. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think we should get him here. Let's Bossing Say on an existing land to force through more damage. Attack ya. We're gonna ignore the Ugin. It's all going face. If you got an answer, show us the answer. Otherwise, I think we're getting an opponent does not have the answer, and well, we got him with the combo in game 1, and then we Bossing Say'd him in game 3. Yeah, not bad. You know what? Vivian Reed Tron, best Tron. I mean, Badgermole into Earthbender Ascension, and we're on the draw, so we can draw Mana Dork maybe, and then we just trust that Vivian's good enough. Honestly, we probably should mulligan this, because 3 Vivians is a lot, but you know what? We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. We might regret it. Oh no, Simic. Oh, Land of Realms, sure. Well, we will play ourselves a land and pass the turn. Oh, Simic Spew, my nemesis. Opponent, 2-drop, sure. Well, another Badgermole. Okay, we're trying. Well, let's play Badgermole Cub. I mean, our opponent missed their land drop. They missed their land drop, so maybe this won't go too bad. Llanowar Elves, but they double it. Sure. And Gene Polluter. At least that doesn't get doubled. All right. We're live. We're live for now. Unfortunately, these Vivians, if these Vivians were Lilianas, we might be in business, but, well, okay. Badgermole. Earthbend the land. The land now taps for 3. Tap it. Earthbender Ascension. Grab a land. Grow a land. And now, technically, we are outmanning our opponent, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, just kidding. That's 2 Badgermole Cubs. Okay, sure. An opponent turns on theirs. And our opponent's doing this with 1 land, I would like to point out. A single land card. One land. What do we got now? Now our opponent has 3, 6. They have all the mana. They have all the mana now. 9 mana, I think. With 1 land on turn 4 in standard. In standard. Jeez, another Badgermole Cub. Okay. Yes, I don't even want to count how much mana they have now. Badgermole Cub Tron might be the best on Tyvar. Yeah, double that up. Sure. Sure. It even gets around the legend rule. Yep. And a 4. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? This is our opponent's turn 4 with a single land. How are we supposed to do anything about this? Yeah. All right, let's have the greatest top deck of all time. Bitter, that'll do it. Bitter Triumph. We can kill one of the 2 Aboroids. Jeez, I'm telling you, Badgermole Cub, this card, it is obscene. It is an obscene Magic the Gathering card. It's wild. We don't have any, like, I win. Our hope is to do the Liliana thing, right? Our dream is, against this deck, we don't win by really stopping them as much as we win by doing our thing before they do their thing. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but with our best draw we could. We still will bring in the Stabs, a Strategic Betrayal, a Maelstrom Pulse, just to have a little bit more removal that we can use on our opponent's stuff. So we will bring it in. But the real game plan is not to turn into a control deck. It is to be the better Badgermole Cub deck. Well, we're going to play first. Well, you know what? We have a doubling season. That's step 1. Doubling season into Liliana. Doubling season into Liliana should be enough to end the shenanigans. If we can do it in time. And the Strategic Betrayal at least kills it. We don't care what they play. Any 1-drop they play, we will just Strategic Betrayal. Anything just get off. Okay, Llanowar Elves, sure. Unless we draw something way better. Maelstrom Pulse is not way better, so let's play the land. Strategic Betrayal. Get rid of your Llanowar Elf. Down to 17. Okay, so we need 2 lands to get down the doubling season. Oh, there's the Badgermole Cub. I mean, we have an answer. We got the Maelstrom Pulse. There's an Esper Origins. Well, I mean, we have to kill the Badgermole Cub. It's not a card that can live. It is the removal check. It must die. Okay, Badgermole down. So what happened last game should not happen this game at least. Opponent. Spyglass Shiren, sure. And Gene Pollinator. I just realized that card's name is Gene Pollinator. I'm pretty sure I've been calling it Gene Polluter the whole time because I thought it was like a Phyrexian thing. I was like, oh, it's like polluting the genes or something. But no, it's it's pollinating the genes, which I guess makes way more sense. Well, we're going to get down the doubling season. Right now, it doesn't do anything. But if we draw a Planeswalker, it does every... Oh, no. Okay, here comes the doubler. That's not good. Oh, yeah. And opponent, Spyglass Siren, ×2. Who would have thought that card would be so good? Jackal or whatever they call it on Arena. Like, who would have thought it would be that good? Well, this Esper Origins is nice. We shouldn't die this turn. If we can... well, surveil. If we can just surveil our way into a Planeswalker, which we did not. Well, play the land. Get down the Gene Polluter, huh? And, pass turn. How about no Aboroid for once? Can we just do the no Aboroid thing? Opponent land. Oh, Aboroid's so good. The Simic deck's just so good. It's got a lot of good cards in it. And we have a doubling season. No, come on now. Well, there's everyone's favorite snake. So we need to draw Liliana right now. Liliana off the top. We will take our beats as far as you want to beat us, as long as we're not dead. And then the Magic Gods. Oh my god, they rewarded us with a Liliana. They really did. I was going to say the Magic Gods will reward us. I didn't believe it, though. Okay, well. Let's see if this is enough. Liliana Dreadhorde General. We are going to ultimate. Opponent. You must sack all except for one of each thing that you control so they can keep... Then keep the Aboroid. They get back their land. Okay, they keep the land. Can we survive this? Are we gonna, if we ultimate Liliana and still die to a Boroid, that would be the saddest day. Opponent, gonna crack the map on the Boroid to get even more counters. There's a Badgermole Cub, not very good when you don't got any lands. Opponent, gonna make their team huge. Opponent, if they attack the Lily, we block, because we would like to draw cards, and we would like to make tokens. We get 2 tokens, so we can jump block for a long time if our opponent doesn't have trample. So we block Lily, trigger, draw a card. Strategic Betrayal's not bad, so that is not bad. That gets rid of something. Well, Liliana, 2 zombies. Esper Origins. Yeah, actually, we'll keep the Gene Pollinator, because we get a free card, and then we'll draw... Oh, actually, wait, do we get to do this? So we draw the Gene Pollinator. Next turn, we'll draw the Bitter Triumph. This turn, we get down the Pollinator. Strategic Betrayal. Put you down to 1 creature, and I don't see how our opponent comes back from this. They do get their land back, because Earthbend, they're not much of a downside. And we will hit you for 1, down to 15. It's got to be enough, right? There's no way. There's no way you ultimate a Liliana and still lose. That's just not how Magic works as a game. Oh, an opponent scooped it up. Thank goodness. I don't know if we want to change anything. Let's just run it back. I mean, okay, that's the recipe, right? The recipe for success is just do our thing before they do their thing. Yu-Gi-Oh mode. Yu-Gi-Oh mode achieved. 2 ships passing in 2 Badgermoles passing in a night in a ship. What kind of ship would a Badgermole sail? That's the real question. This hand seems fine. We got the doubling season. We got a little bit of removal. We got some ramp. Opponent. Gene Pollinator. Sure. Well, we will lead on a... Unfortunately, we don't get black mana turn 1, so this Gene Pollinator is going to live. We do get to get down to Llanowar. Hopefully they don't have busted 2-drop Badgermole Cub. Hey, I mean, that's kind of a busted 2-drop. And opponent. Oh, double Badgermole Cub. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's what Maelstrom Pulse is for. That's why it's in the deck. Yes, I think we would like to blow up both of your Badgermole Cubs. I mean, our opponent's still got 3 creatures. 2 of them are their lands. They have 0 actual lands. They're all creatures. Opponent. No, come on now. Not this too. Opponent gets down the door. Opponent passes. We draw a Strategic Betrayal. Only 1 Black Source. I think we have to Earthbender Ascension. It's risky because it means they get to keep their doubler, but we're going to Earthbender Ascension. We're going to turn on a land. We're going to grab a swamp. This gets us 2 Black Sources for next turn. So next turn we can cast 2 removal spells. As long as they don't go land a Boroid. If they go land a Boroid... Was our opponent passing? Wait a minute. Okay. A Llanowar Elf. And then we're working towards it. Or wait, are we going to win this? We also have the doubling season in hand. And the Lily. So we're going to pass. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Take a little stab at that Jackal. This means if our opponent has a counter, they got to waste on their turn. And this also cuts our opponent off of mana. Because they can't tap it to the Gene Pollinator. Oh, okay, they just got another one. Sure, that makes sense. I was wondering what they'd have in hand that they weren't playing, and I guess, oh no, double Gene Pollinator. Well, I think we kill it. I think this is correct. And then we just try to doubling season. Oh, there's a Badgermole. So Badgermole doubling season. Play the Badgermole, turn on a land, Earthbend a land. Well, there's a Badgermole Cub. Suddenly, this 2-drop gives us all the mana in the world. We used to play doubling season. And now we pass the turn and hope nothing goes horribly wrong. The funny thing is, Liliana's ultimate's not even that good here. It's not even that good because our opponent doesn't really have that many lands. Well, I guess they kind of do. They're just all in creature. Well, there's a Boroid. Hooray! Well, opponent smacks us. Well, we have the Lily. Play, I guess, another Badgermole Cub first, because why not? And this has got to do it, right? There is no way. There is no way we do not win from here. Lily, ultimate, make you sack it all. So opponent gets to keep a creature. They get to keep a land. Oh, they get to keep an artifact too. Oh, wait. No. No, we're not going to lose from here, are we? That would be insane. Aboroid triggers. Opponent, pass it. Well, we will take up Lily. Make a couple zombies. Oh, no! Tishana's Tidebind. No. No, 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 no. Now Lily's turned off. If we got those two zombies, we were in such good shape. So opponent can sack, I guess, the land and get it back. They can't sack the Tidebinder, because then we get our Lily back. This also shuts down Lily's static ability. I can't believe our opponent's still in this game. I thought this was just over. Well, do we play the last land, I guess? Play the land. Go to combat, pass the turn. Spike, oh no, but it's flying. The one weakness. No, I can't believe. Okay, so Simic Spew is kind of ridiculous, but I cannot believe that we did the doubling season Liliana thing, made our opponent sack basically everything, and our opponent's not only not dead, but next turn they have a lethal flyer. How did they survive this? I mean, I guess it worked out that they got to keep 3 permanents because Gene Pollinator's an artifact. We have to chump, or else we literally die right now. Opponent did not get in with the Tishana. The Tishana's Tidebinder was the card. If our opponent didn't have the Tidebinder, I think we'd be okay, and that's a land. And yeah, I mean, Spyglass Siren is straight up lethal, and we can't stop it. Wow. We are trying to ultimate Liliana Dreadnought General. This hand seems pretty good. I mean, we got Badgermole. We got the Gene Pollinator. We even got the doubling season. Oh no, not again. Okay. All right. Simic Spew is back. But we will match your Gene Polluter with a Gene Polluter of our own. Found it. Double Trouble. Jackal. Sure. And there's a Gene Pollinator. ×2. And that is a pretty good start. Well, we'll do our best, Badgermole Cub. I mean, we're gonna need a Planeswalker. That is the TLDR. We need a Planeswalker, and we need it soon. If we get a Planeswalker, then life is good. Oh, do we keep a Badgermole? Yeah, we probably got to keep Badgermole. Double Badgermole is just so insane. And then we can use that to flash back the Esper Origins and dig for a Planeswalker. Oh, opponent Badgermole Cub. Well, let's see if our opponent has a payoff. If they have an Aboroid or something, double Badgermole is... I mean, they got the mana. Opponent has... I don't want to say infinite mana, but they basically have infinite mana. The standard version of infinite mana, which is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they tap for 3, 3, 6, 9. My God, that start. Turn 3! This is turn 3. I know we're trying to do degenerate things too, but our opponent is just, my God, a paw patch, and that's an empty hand on turn 3 with 7, 8, 9, 12 creatures, infinite power. I think we're a little dead. I think we might be a wee bit dead. Yeah, there's no coming back. We just died this turn, and yeah, Badgermole Cub. It's a Badgermole Cub. Sideboard-wise, I mean, I think the plan is basically the same. Bring in a little bit of interaction and mostly try to race, although that was turn 3. That was literally turn 3, 12 creatures. I don't know, I didn't count the power, a lot of power, and it was gonna get way worse the next turn when a Aboroid triggered. Ooh, all right, double Badgermole Cub. Can we give Simic Spew a taste of its own medicine? Underground Mortuary, mill that land. We don't need another land. We do not have the doubling season, or we don't have the doubling season or the Planeswalker here. Let's get on the Badgermole Cub. Earthbend the Surveil land past the turn. And opponent scoops it up. Apparently not a fan of our Badgermole Cub, so we will run it back. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what hand our opponent would keep and then scoop with 1 land to a Badgermole Cub. Huh. I don't know. Well, we will take it. Against Simic Spew, we will take our wins however we can get it. We need our revenge after they beat our Liliana ultimate, which should not happen. All right, double Badgermole Cub, double Manadork. This looks like one of our opponent's hands. This is the Spew. The problem is we don't have any payoff for the Spew. So we're gonna need to get a little lucky to draw our payoffs. Opponent with a Paw Patch Reaker. Okay, there's doubling season. Step 1, I mean, now we got a bunch of planeswalkers that become absolutely busted once we get it down. I mean, I think this hand is going to be a good example of just... Hey, Badgermole Cub, sure. Well, you can't say too much because we're also trying to do the same thing. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 18. Well, we will play a multiversal passage on black, and we are going to play it untapped, and we are going to play a Badgermole Cub and Earthbend a land. And then I think we just Bitter Triumph to kill our opponent's Badgermole Cub. They do get a counter out of this, but this ensures that our opponent does not play, well, hopefully ensures that our opponent does not play into board. I want to say for sure because when it comes to Badgermole Cubs, like if they have another one, all right, Azure Beastbinder, not a Badgermole Cub, opponent gonna get in and hit us. We will take the beats down to a 9. 9 is not, oh my God, that's Lily. Okay, so Badgermole, we just have to survive a turn. Badgermole Cub, turn on the forest. Revenge, revenge. We're gonna play a doubling season here. We're gonna play a Gene Pollinator. We're going to play a land on black and tapped and pass the turn. I think we're gonna get revenge on, so there's the Aboroid. Okay, opponent Aboroids. Scary card, grows the team. We are not quite dead though. Our opponent can hit us down to 4. Gets rid of a Badgermole Cub. Thankfully, we do not actually need the mana of that Badgermole Cub. If they had hit our black source, if they had hit our black source, they might have been able to stop this, but all right, tap them. Liliana, doubling season, twice the counters, ultimate, and opponent. Would you like to sack your board? And let's see. Wow, they did that very wrong. Somehow our opponent managed to last with only a land, and okay, we got our revenge. We got our revenge on our opponent getting at the Simic deck, my lord. Okay, we got there though. Revenge on Simic, that's all that matters, and that's the combo. Liliana, pretty good. I mean, not super explosive, but we got a Planeswalker. We have Esper Origins to set things up. Definitely getting rid of that land. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Starting town, and ooh, Earth My Allies. Oh boy. All right, well, this is kind of scary. Hopefully, ooh, do we keep Mana Dorks? They ramp us into Vivian, but I don't even think Vivian's that good. And also, Earthbender Ascension also ramps us into Vivian. There it is, Great Divide Guide. Well, there's a scary card. Now they all make mana, and because they have the 1-drop, man, the Bitter Triumph would have been so good. Killing the Great Divide Guide, I feel like, is the most important thing you can do against allies. Unfortunately, because of Earth Kingdom Protectors, we can't do it, but we do get to Earthbender Ascension. We get to ramp a land, we get to make a 2/2 land, and pass the turn and see how bad it is. Usually when there's a Great Divide Guide and a bunch of cards in hand, it's pretty bad. Opponent, Jasmine, Dragon, T-Shop, and South Pole Voyager. Gotta get that card draw going. Sure. What do we got? Frozen Celt. I feel like allies. It's gonna be interesting to see while there's an Ang. What are we, Earthbending our... All right, Earthbend the land. I mean, that doesn't really matter here. We get it back anyway. We even get a Surveil out of it, so kind of helpful, and an Earthbender Ascension trigger. Well, we do not need the Verge. We need, oh man, I don't even know if Liliana's going to be enough with them having this many creatures. Found it passes. Well, we will, Esper Origins. Not much of a point in playing the Vivian. We could play Vivian and kill Ang, but that doesn't seem great. Mill and Mill. Come on, deck. We gotta see a Liliana on top. We gotta see a Liliana on top. Summer Esper Malden says more Vivians. All right. Not the best. Vivian actually has been kind of impressive because a lot of decks have artifacts or enchantments. Ally is not one of those decks really though. Oh boy, Wartime Protesters. Here comes the haste and an Earthen Ally. Oh, we might just be kind of dead now. Opponent gains a life, draws a card. Opponent, Earth Kingdom Lieutenant, grows them, and yeah, that is, we do not have a Wrath in this deck, so there is literally no way out of there, and allies with haste kind of scary. Okay, well, anything that looks like, or smells like, or tastes like removal coming in. Oh, we don't have a ton, but we got something. We were going out Vivians because Vivians did not seem great there, and yeah, running like that, I guess. All right, on to game number 2. We will be on the play, which is helpful. So we need, hopefully, a more explosive start, which, oh, God. This sort of is. If it wasn't for the fact we had 2 tap lands, I don't think we can mulligan this though, but yeah. I think we need something more explosive. After last game, see how good allies are, we really have to have an explosive hand. So that first hand, if we had an untap land, it would have been great. But we can't go tap land into Mana Dork and do nothing till turn 3. We'll probably be dead. Well, not literally dead, but behind a Great Divide Guide by that point. At least this hand gives us the possibility of doing explosive things if we draw them. Because now we can Esper Origins. Do we want a Llanowar? So if we keep a Llanowar, I mean, a fast Liliana, even without doubling season, might be enough here. We can, next turn, this turn, yeah, we're going to keep it. This turn, we can play the land on green, get down the Gene Pollinator, pass the turn. Next turn, we can Esper Origins Llanowar Elf, and then the next turn, Liliana, hopefully get rid of your creatures. May, and opponent gonna get in, yes. I mean, May's a little annoying, but not the end of the world. So we can play the Llanowar Elf, play the land on black for Lily, Esper Origins, take the 2, gain the 2. Oh, there's no, can we wait and try to do the thing? Ah, I think we are. We're gonna be so greedy. I mean, our opponent's not off to the crazy start. There's no Great Divide Guide. We're at 16. We got the Summer Esper mod in. It seems realistic. South Pole Voyager. It seems realistic that we can play a doubling season next turn and then play Liliana the following turn without dying, which is the dream. We're going to go for a doubling season. Yes, we'll take the My damage down to 14. Play the Surveil land. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, you can't pass up a Badgermole Cub. The crazy thing, Badgermole Cub's like insane on turn 2, but then later in the game, it's almost even more insane. Ooh, there's the Great Divide Guide. A little late. But it's almost even more insane because we're going to play it here and it's immediately going to generate mana because we already have all these mana dorks on the battlefield. So we end up paying 2 and generating like 4 or something. It's like a ritual. It's like a ritual in the late game. Well, there goes the Summer Esper mod in. We're going to start with the Badgermole Cub because it's going to make us even more mana. And then we are going to put an end to our opponent's hopes and dreams. Liliana Dreadhorde General against 2019. My triggers, sure, that's fine. Opponent, how would you like to have 2 permanents? You get to choose. You get to choose, so it's fair. Opponent gets to choose the permanents. The choice is yours, opponent. That makes us super... Man, it feels good to get people with this. Liliana Dreadhorde General, one of the better ultimates. Just as far as immediate game ending, is our opponent not giving up? I mean, I guess they can keep Great Divide Guide in a land, and in theory try to rebuild. Wow, they keep the May. Interesting. I would have definitely kept the Great Divide Guide to try to have some amount of mana, but I guess our opponent's hoping that... I don't know. I don't know how they get out of this, because now we get to double zombie each turn, which is also kind of unbeatable, and we have another Liliana, so if they ever do anything, we can just make them sack again. Yeah, opponent gives up, and that went way better. Maybe all that matters is who's on the play. Maybe that's all that matters. We aren't especially interaction-heavy deck, which I feel like that's where Ally struggles, right? If you're playing a bunch of interaction, Ally's probably not a big deal. If you're not playing a bunch of interaction, Allies can be incredibly scary. Kind of like the Simic Spew deck. Oh, triple Earthbender Ascension. So this hand ramps a bunch, and that's about it. We got them all. Okay. All right. I mean, this hand is not fast, but we get a Bitter Triumph, and we have a Liliana to work towards. Hopefully there's no Earth Kingdom Protector. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, there's a Llanowar. That does help us get towards this Liliana a little faster. Come on, no Great Divide Guide at least. Not the full. That's the draw that's so tough. Like, when they go... Earth Kingdom Protectors in the Great Divide Guide. Well, okay. It sucks to give up a Mana Dork, but I think it's worth it because it means we actually get to kill the Great Divide Guide. Okay, well, I was just going to go on the spiel about how when you protect the Great Divide Guide, it's so powerful, but our opponent, I think they just bet we weren't going to throw away our Mana Dork. Opponent, South Pole Voyager. And Earthen Ally draws a card. Could really use a Badgermole Cub. Ooh, that's another land. All right, surveil us into a Badger. More lands, all right. Underground Mortuary, not doing your job. Not doing your job. Find us some Badgermole Cubs. Earthen Ally. Number 2. Land. Ooh, they can't trigger it at least. We really need some ramp. Oh, another Lily. Yeah, this is not going the way we hoped. We have the lilies to deal with the board. We just don't have the mana to get the lilies down. Ooh, Aang at the crossroads. That is a good one. Aang, spin it to win it into more protection. And draws a card, and yeah, we can't come back at this point. We don't have enough time. We are playing some Badgermole Cub with some super friends, with some doubling season, and the Liliana that I kind of forgot was even in standard because they put it in. Actually, both of our planeswalkers, come to think of it, Vivian and Liliana Dreadhorde General, they're both only in the format because of foundations. They were both good during their eras. Vivian was good a long time ago. Liliana was okay during its era during War of the Spark. 6 mana is still like a lot. But there were also no doubling seasons. Let's give him a Yip Yip, see if our opponent wants to get going here. I do like the Yip Yip. It's like such an inoffensive way to be like, okay, let's do it. It is so perfect for that. Because how do you get mad about a Yip Yip? Like, it's so peaceful, so kind. And it's a little kid voice, opponent land and passes. Well, we're going to play a forest and a land realms. Go. Oh, please don't be Simic. Not again. Can only take so many. Simic is kind of popular right now, opponent. Oh, it's landfall. Bristly Bill. All right. We can kill it. We'd have to play an untapped land. We can also kill it in the future. So maybe it's just fine. Yeah, let's just Esper Origins. Esper Origins. Mill the Llanowar. Actually, so we have the Liliana. All right, let's keep the Llanowar. Mill the Earthbender Ascension, I think. Actually, do we even want the Llanowar? Actually, let's just mill. We'll just mill them both. The only argument for keeping Llanowar is just like, if it is landfall, they shouldn't be good at killing it. So it is kind of a free mana towards Liliana. But we also really want to find doubling season. So the upside of milling it is we're 1 card closer to drawing a doubling season. Plus next turn, we're just going to flash back those Esper Origins anyway. So we wouldn't have time to play the Llanowar. Ooh, well, okay, that's a doubling season. And the Maelstrom Pulse is a backup. Okay, things are looking a little better. We're not staring down a Tifa. We're drawing a doubling season. I mean, unless our opponent can really get on the board here. Traveling Chocobo, oh, sure. And, wow, passes? Okay, well, this is so awkward, but I think we just win if we just play Lily here. Like, I don't actually know if we need to play the doubling season first. If we just tick down, we're going to lose the Summer Espermon anyway. So if we play Liliana -3, opponent loses their board, we lose our board, we draw 2 cards, but we're going to lose half of our board anyway.
Necromancy is a lot like...
Oh, we only draw 1 card because the Saga goes to exile. I mean, I still think, with all the removal we have in hand, I still think that was correct. We can still play the doubling season and make double tokens with Lily, which is still pretty good. That's still pretty nice. Doubling season synergizes with, I mean, it synergizes with Bossing Say. We get double the counters on our Earthbend lands. It kind of synergizes with a lot in this deck. Well, let's play the Bossing Say. Get down the doubling season. Well, we'll see. We better win this now because we could have waited and played it in the opposite order and gotten the Liliana ultimate. So if we don't end up winning this game, pretty good chance that we should have played it in the opposite direction. But make 2 zombies is just so tempting to get rid of their board there. Like, how do they get back in it? And now we're making 2 zombies a turn. So this is a oddly slow draw from... I mean, I guess they had Bristly Bill. They had a Traveling Choke. They just haven't hit the payoffs. No Hydra, no Tifa. Wow, are they passing again? Okay, well, Liliana, 2 zombies. I mean, our opponent's not going to be able to last just to the zombie horde for long. Play the Swamp. And I think we start making 4/4s with Bossing Say. I mean, when this is pay 3 tap, make a 4/4 that kind of has haste. I think we wait, though, until... I don't think we're going to attack with it. Do they have an answer to Lily? What would they have? I don't know what the landfall deck realistically would have to kill Lily. So now what we can do is 1, 2, 3. We can Earthbend on the land, make a 4/4, pass the turn. This lets us leave up a removal spell. If we attack, then we don't have the mana up for Bitter Triumph. So I think it's worth giving up 4 damage to have access to the Bitter Triumph just because we are in such a dominant... Oh, wow. Okay, Fire Magic, we draw 4. Okay, I'm fine with that. The zombies are replaceable. And now we have a handful of cards. Oh, Vivian, okay. If we ever... An opponent, not even going to wait to see what we draw, scoops it up and That went pretty well, pretty well. All right, we're gonna bring in more cheap removal. It's something that we bring in pretty much every matchup, so maybe we should just play more of it in the main deck, but then we lose our combo pieces, so yeah, we're not like that. All right, on to game number 2. We're gonna be on the draw for this one. Up against the Landfall deck, which is a really scary deck. Like, Landfall with a good draw is still very... There's so many decks in Standard that if they have a decent draw and you don't have the early interaction, they can just kill you. Like, turn 3, turn 4. Found it, land, and Llanowar. Our hand... I mean, we got the Lily. We got a Badgermole Cub to ramp into it. We got Earthbender Ascension to benefit from the Badgermole Cub. There's a Bristly Bill. And opponent with the fetch land going to grow the Llanowar Elf and crack the escape tunnel. I mean, Bristly Bill is a payoff, but it's a really good secondary payoff. If you don't have a Tifa or a Mossborn Hydra, Bristly Bill by itself is unlikely to actually get you. At least that's been my experience playing Landfall. It's really Mossborn Hydra, Tifa. Those are the cards that you really got to look out for. And then like Bristly Bill, Ice Hill Explorer, Traveling Chocobo. Those are really the support cards that make the main payoffs into the super scary, like, kill you in one attack sort of threats. Opponent, Island and a Llanowar Elf gonna grow the Bristly Bill. As I say that Bristly Bill is kind of getting big. We might actually have to spend removal on it. Opponent hits us. I mean, the good news is we're gonna make a lot of mana here pretty soon. Well, there is the payoff, Mossborn Hydra. That does change things a bit, because we do need to make that die. The Bristly Bill we could take another hit from. The Mossborn Hydra, it's too risky. I think we just Earthbender Ascension. Actually, no, maybe this is better. Let's just kill the Mossborn Hydra. We're gonna kill the Mossborn Hydra either way. Take 3, kill the Mossborn. Rather than Earthbender Ascension, let's just double Mana Dork. I think this actually makes more mana, because we have 2 Mana Dorks that benefit from the Badgermole Cub rather than just 1. You know what'd be sweet? Drawing a Doubling Season. If we draw a Doubling Season, we got the Lily, we got the mana. We could just get them. We could just make them sack all their permanents. Pound it, Bristly Bill, growing the Llanowar. We do need to be aware of these attacks. Like, our opponent can double the counters. We're down to 6. We might have to just Liliana this turn. I don't know if we're gonna have the luxury. Oh, that's a lot of creatures. Keen-Eyed Curator. Gonna start exiling things from the graveyard. We might not have the luxury to wait for a Doubling Season. We might just need to Lily. We might just need to Lily now to try to get some creatures off the battlefield. Otherwise, I'm not sure we actually live long enough to find the Doubling Season. So if can we Earthbender Ascension first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we need the blockers too, because we're at 6, so we can't tap everything down. So I think we just Liliana. One of the nice, very, like, kind of cute little synergies is when we sack stuff, we can sacrifice our lands that we have earthbent kind of for free, because they're going to come back anyway. It still costs us a bit of mana if we have Badgermole Cub, because they're only going to tap for 1 now. But still, we take down Liliana, everyone sacks. We get to draw 2 cards. We get back 1 of our lands. So actually, we just end up down a Llanowar Elf. What did they sack is the question. You would think they'd want to keep Keen-Eyed Curator, Bristly Bill. They have 4 lands, so they even need any Mana Dorks. I guess you could keep the Mana Dork with the counters on it if your plan is to double counters with Bristly Bill next turn. Then maybe that's just better than the Keen-Eyed Curator. The upside of the Keen-Eyed Curator is if you can turn it on, the Trample's going to give our opponent a way to beat our zombies. Because they are going to have to consider that if this Lily sticks, and they can't kill it right now, and they might be able to kill it right now, but if the Lily sticks around, it does make 2 zombies every turn, and those 2 zombies are eventually going to be tough for our opponent to actually slog through. Well, all right. We get back our Earthbend land. We get to draw 2 cards from Lily's stat. Oh, there's the Doubling Season. All right, well, let's just draw one more. Let's just draw one more. Wow, do we just Strategic Betrayal, or do we die? They kept the... Wait. Why did they keep the small Llanowar Elf? Wait a minute. Why would you not choose the one with the counters? What possible scenario in Standard would you want the Llanowar Elf that's a 1/1 with no counters instead of the 3/3 with 2+1/1 counters? I do not know why you would do that. I mean, we will take it. So all we really want to do now is draw another Lily, maybe. And then we can Doubling Season Lily. The second one with the Doubling Season and the ultimate, that should actually really truly close out the game. So we have to block because they double the counters and we die. Yeah, I think we just block. Actually, I think we'd rather lose the Gene Pollinator. They could have Snakeskin Veil. You know what? We're just gonna take. We're gonna take the one at the Lily. Keep the Badgermole Cub. I don't know what we're playing around. Would they have brought in Snakeskin Veil? Really? I mean, they could have. That's a thing that could exist in their deck. Protecting your Tifa makes sense. I just don't know. Would you bring it in against us? We're not a very interaction-heavy deck, but our opponent probably sees Black Mana and Golgari and just assumes that we're playing a ton of interaction, when really we're doing Badgermole Cub things. All right, opponent lets it go. So Lily drops to 1. We get to draw a card. Multiversal Passage. Opponent Zaz Chocobo. And passes. Play the land, make a zombie. Let's get down the doubling season, actually. I think this is fine. We played the doubling season, assuming this resolves. If this doesn't resolve, then we're kind of in a tough spot. All right, doubling season now. So now we get to make 2 zombies. I think this is better than casting the Strategic Betrayal and getting rid of, like, Zaz Chocobo. We'll stay on defense. Plus, these zombies jump block and draw us cards. Eventually, it will draw us into another Lily. Now we have the doubling season down. So if we draw a Lily or Vivian, it should close out the game. Like, that is the whole point of this, about it. Opponent. Ooh, all right, Obliterating Bolt's kind of huge. Like, getting rid of the zombie engine and getting rid of our card draw engine by taking down the Lily is kind of massive. Well, we're gonna throw 2 zombies in front of this old Bristly Bill, see if we can get it off the battlefield. Ooh, Overprotect. Well, I am glad we double blocked because otherwise we actually would have just died. Well, good to know that they're playing Overprotect. Can we survive? Wait, are we actually at risk of dying now? So we can Earthbender Ascension. Turn on the land. It's going to be a 4/4 thanks to doubling season. And then, I don't think we can Strategic Betrayal. We need the blockers. Pass the turn. If they draw another Overprotect, we definitely just die. Opponent getting in with Bristly Bill. Well, we will block. Our opponent can double the counters. Please no. There's no way they just top decked Overprotect, right? I guess if we block with both, we kill it even through them doubling the counters. That leaves us with no bodies, but we have the creature land. I think this is worth it. Losing the Badgermole Cub is awkward, but okay, opponent gonna double the counters. But we finally got rid of those Bristly Bill, my god. Well, just as I said, oh, Bristly Bill, it's not really a payoff. Good support card, not a payoff. Bristly Bill almost killed us. Well, oh, Esper Origins is actually insane here. Not just does this let us dig for a Lily, which is what we really want. Gaining 4 life here and making a 4/4 is very, 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 very relevant. Like, super relevant. So we go up to 5. Esper Origins returns. Mill them, and we're going to mill them both. We want the Lily. We want the Lily, not a silly removal spell. We get both modes, so we also can cast a Strategic Betrayal. Trigger. Oh my god, that's Liliana. Okay. Well, next turn, opponent. Next turn, things are going to be a little rough. A little rough for the landfall deck. Strategic Betrayal. Get rid of your elf. Play the tap land. All right, opponent. You have 1 turn to kill us from 7. I guess we're going to put a bunch of counters on this Summer Espermon that's going to die anyway. Pass the turn. Opponent, untap straws. Can they find a negate? Can they find something? Grows the Zaz Chocobo. Cracks a Fabled Passage. Gonna grow the Zaz Chocobo. Like, what is our opponent's... It's a counter spell, right? They need a counter spell, essentially. It's a Llanowar Elf. And opponent pass it. Wow, and a Vivian too. We don't have any creatures to make indestructible currently, but, well, I mean, Liliana Dreadhorde General. I think this should be enough. So Lily, double loyalty. And we're going to do the ultimate. I'm not even sure it's better to do the ultimate than just -3 here and then ultimate next turn. It might make more sense just to wrath away the creatures, because this does let our opponent creep a creature, but getting rid of all except 1 land. I imagine you keep 1 land in Zaz Chocobo, right? And then you hope you high roll into like fetch lands and just get the kill. Our opponent at least needs to draw land to kill the Lily. If Lily untaps and makes 2 zombies, I don't think there's any chance they win this game. Well, there's the ultimate. We've got quite a few Liliana ultimates with this deck, which is good because that is kind of what we're trying to do. Opponent gonna hit the Lily. Only down to 1 though, and now, yeah. Now it's over. Now we make the zombies. We can play the Vivian. We ultimate Vivian. All of our creatures indestructible. and play the land and grow the zombies, and the corner has been turned and our opponent scoops it up, and, well, Badgermole Cub, can you even make Liliana Dreadhorde General good? So what did we learn this week about doubling season in Standard? And record-wise, the deck was actually pretty good. We went 11-7 with the deck overall for a 61% match win percentage. But if you actually look at the match-ups with the deck, it gets even funnier. So the deck we played against the most was the Simic Badgermole Spew deck, and we went 1-4 against the Simic deck. So apparently, we're not the best Badgermole Cub deck, but the good news is, that means if you drop the Simic matchups, we went 10-3 against everything else for a 77% win percentage. So apparently being not the best Badgermole Cub deck is still incredibly broken, and I think we definitely saw that Badgermole Cub is just such an obscene card that it actually can make you win a really high percentage of the time, even if what you're ramping into is not a Boroid and not Tyvar, but doubling season and 6-mana Liliana in Vivian Reed, these planeswalkers from like a decade ago. Liliana was actually very good in the deck. We did have one game where we actually ultimated Liliana and still lost, which I didn't know was possible, although that was to Simic, so maybe that doesn't actually count. But most of the time, ultimating Liliana is just straight up game over. Most opponents just scoop once they realize they're not going to have any permanents left, and even the opponents who try to stick it out, they last like another turn or two before they realize, like, I just don't have the resources to stay in this game. So Liliana was really good, and one of the things about Liliana is, and Vivian too, is we're in this weird format, and I think I mentioned it during the games, where there's not a lot of Planeswalker removal, and I think this is partly because of Universes Beyond, and Universes Beyond sets don't get Planeswalkers, so the removal spells in Universes Beyond sets don't have to account for Planeswalkers for limited or whatever, so it leads to a less Planeswalker removal heavy format overall. So yeah, sometimes you get a Bitter Triumph or a Maelstrom Pulse or something. There are cards that deal with a Planeswalker, but it's not a super Planeswalker heavy removal format, so it actually makes it kind of easy to stick these Planeswalkers. So even if we don't have the doubling season, just ramping into like a turn 3, turn 4 Liliana is still a really devastating line against a lot of decks. Vivian Reed was kind of funny. We didn't ultimate Vivian very much, but it was a nice engine card. Good card advantage engine, and the removal is more relevant than you think. So all around, I like this deck. I love doubling season decks. I love making my opponent sacrifice all except one of their lands. So it's a really fun deck to play. If you just want to play the most optimal Badgermole Cub deck, it's probably still Simic, because Simic beat us a bunch of times when we played against it. But like I said before, it turns out even being the second or third or fourth or 10th best Badgermole Cub deck is still a Badgermole Cub deck, and Badgermole Cub is just so ridiculous. It kind of doesn't matter what you ramp into if you're getting it down on turn 3 or turn 4. Even doubling season and outdated planeswalkers like Liliana Dreadhorde General and Vivian Reed are still more than good enough to win a ton of games. So that's doubling season. That is the insane bustedness of Badgermole Cub. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.